Turning to Ukraine, where in a so-called Great Easter exchange, Russia released 130 Ukrainian prisoners of war. This weekend marks Eastern Orthodox Easter, and 92 servicemen from the Ukrainian armed forces were among those returned. But the occasion did not stop intense fighting in the city of Bakhmut, and the Russian forces continue heavy attacks along the eastern front lines. Russian mercenaries claimed they captured 2 more areas of Bakhmut as fighting goes on in the streets. The city has been the scene of some of the fiercest and most brutal fighting of the war. Michael Bociurkiw is a global affairs analyst and a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council. He's written an op-ed for CNN about the battle for Bakhmut, and he's joining us right now. So good to see you. I wonder, first if you could give me your thoughts on, the contrast of Russia releasing prisoners of war while continuing battles.
Sure. Good to be with you, Fredricka. Well, these prisoner exchanges are very, very important. In the business, we call them confidence-building measures. It shows that deals can actually be struck. It also shows that the two sides are talking to each other. So hopefully that's a stepping stone to a larger ceasefire and peace agreement. But yeah, the fighting is very, very intense in Bakhmut. One of my sources in that op-ed called this the bloodiest battle in Europe since World War II. We're seeing blood-drenched killing fields, Russia using the same tactics it's used in places like Syria, scorched earth policies, and a real kind of meat grinder approach, sending wave and wave of fighters, for the most part, to their death. And Fredricka, depending on what figures you believe, the losses on the Russian side are about 5 to every Ukrainian, or even as high as 7 to every Ukrainian. So those leaked U.S. intelligence documents say that over the past 6 months, the losses on the Russian side, absolutely huge.
Wow. And I'm wondering, is this battle of Bakhmut representative of something pivotal or specific about the Russian strategy?
Well, in Russia propaganda and state TV, one would have you believe that this is a pivotal moment if indeed Russia captures Bakhmut. But the Ukrainians have, downplayed that possible victory. They know that there are other places on the front line to concentrate on. There are other larger Ukrainian settlements and military installations not far away. So, but I also have to remind people, especially on this Orthodox Easter Sunday, that there are significant losses on the Ukrainian side. In that op-ed, I said the Ukrainian soul is bleeding like never before, but they're incredible. They're showing incredible resilience. For example, Freddie, just quickly in 2014, when I was with the OSCE in Ukraine, the Ukrainian forces held out for about 260 days at Donetsk International Airport, far less prepared than they are now. So that shows you something about their resilience.
My goodness. And so is it the case that, the U.S. and allies are trying to urge President Zelensky perhaps to not put as many resources, on Bakhmut, or, almost surrender? I hate to use that word surrender, but let up some on the fight there.
Yeah, I think it's clear that they've given the Ukrainians the the ability to call their own shots. The difference between the Russians is Ukrainians actually respect human life, and they're not going to subject their troops to this kind of meat grinder death approach. But the Ukrainians have made it clear, Fredricka, they need everything they've asked for, from the fighter jets to the ability to close their own skies. And, I would even go one step further. I would say now is the time for the West to grow the spine, to give Ukrainians the ability to strike legitimate military targets within Russia. And I'm talking about places where those long-range rockets are launched and land in Ukrainian cities and killing a lot of civilians, including children.
And I mean, it has been over a year now, and it seems obvious what Russia wants. But then again, it's not that obvious. What is it? Is it strictly the territory grab? Is there something about an erasure of a culture? What is it, in your view?
It's probably all of that, sadly, that Mr. Putin has decided that Ukraine does not have a right to exist. He would either like to destroy it or absorb it. I think what the minimum the Russians will go for is, of course, retaining Crimea. but also retaining that land bridge between mainland Russia and Mariupol, that area. But, in that op-ed piece, I cited poll after poll of Ukrainians who have been asked, what do you expect? And about 90% said that they want to go back to pre-2014 lines. And that includes Mr. Zelensky reclaiming Crimea. That's a very, very big ask.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, but that's what Ukrainians expect. The fear is gone, Fredricka, among my friends and contacts in Ukraine. It's been replaced by anger and not giving 1 inch to Russia.
Yeah, well, Zelensky probably wants that too, but is it attainable? That's the wish. Is it met with, or how is it met with reality at this point? All right, Michael Bociurkiw, so good to see you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.